Now, let's take a step back to understand how sports gambling even got to where it is today. And this video is not solely negative about sports gambling. This is going to be a comprehensive video that looks at both sides and try to understand every perspective on this issue. Now, in 1992, the US government passed a law called PASPA to stop sports betting from growing across the United States. PASPA basically only allowed states like Nevada to have sports betting, and there are even rules in the NFL and the NBA, guys, that limited teams from building organizations or anything around Las Vegas because they all look down on sports gambling. How ironic.
The Supreme Court today struck down a law that was passed by Congress in 1992. And the law barred gambling on sports in most states. So that's football, basketball, hockey.
So since 2018, since PASPA was demolished by the Supreme Court, apparently 38 states along with Washington DC and Puerto Rico have made sports gambling legal. This has caused a huge increase in the amount of money that people place on sports. In 2023, Americans bet almost $120 billion, guys. NPC behavior. I disapprove. And let's even make that a lot worse. That's up from 93 billion in 2022. In simple layman's dumb terms, guys, sports books are making bank. But another thing that is very interesting about this whole issue is the fact that sports gambling isn't just growing in a legal sense. Companies advertise this gambling thing when it comes to sports as fun and exciting. They promise you will have a great time and maybe even make some quick money off of watching these teams that you care about. Basically everything pertaining to sports, like I mentioned earlier, are talking about gambling. It's becoming a cultural thing in sports nowadays. Now, I know a lot of you guys are secretly saying, DeeTalk, why are you making this video, bro? A lot of people bet money, and betting is fun. You can choose to do it, you can choose not to do it. I understand that, guys. I know that betting is fun. Betting is something that you can do with your people. You go to Vegas, you know, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I'm not gonna clown on people or act like I'm perfect, like I haven't bet before. Betting can be fun. What this issue really becomes an issue square is when we look at the current state of gambling, especially when it comes to sports betting, guys. Let's just take a look at these two components. First of all, we have mobile phones.
First thing, you should have at least 2 sports betting apps minimum, but I recommend 3.
Look, let me show you the sports betting app method right now if you want free money, but it only works if you haven't made an account yet, okay?
Are you serious right now, bro?
When we look at mobile phones, we can clearly understand that sports gambling has been systematically engineered to always be with you. It's very easy to bet without even thinking about it. Betting has become some sort of a game now. It's like any other app on your phone, and it's very accessible. Guys, if you put something as addictive as gambling on something as addictive as a smartphone, what do you expect? That's just how I kind of look at it right now. And then we even take a look at this parlay thing like I talked about earlier.
Parlays are the biggest scam in America, and this is going to lead to the next great American mental health crisis.
I was just sick and tired of seeing all these big companies show these 10 teamers and, you know, someone bet $5 to win 100,000, or what that does is it gives people false hope.
Parlays really just sell you that dream that you can keep adding things to your bet and make a lot of money. And that system, guys, I just never have liked. I just don't like how parlays exploit people. Just doing my research for this video, 27%, which is a quarter of all the money spent on sports books and sports gambling, are from parlays. And that 27% makes up 56% of all the profits made by sports books.
If you struggle with compulsive gambling, it's not coming from a lack of sports knowledge. It's not a Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen thing or a Saquon Barkley versus Derrick Henry thing. It's an issue with the dopamine chase.
You know what, guys? That's enough talking shit about sports gambling. Okay, I want to be fair and partial and understand every side. There are ways to sports gamble in a responsible manner. It is a fun activity. There wouldn't be sports gambling if people didn't actually like to do it. It is a market for a reason. So if you're a person out there who want to sports gamble, you can do it responsibly. There's no reason why you shouldn't dabble in a little bit of fun. You made your money and you should be able to use it however you feel like. You can always set limits on these games, guys. You can always keep your bets small. And when you're betting small, bro, please make sure you're not doing it with parlays. That's the only thing that you can do that can get me really pissed at you. Just go out there and bet. The overall consensus when it comes to my opinion on this is to do it in small amounts, do it with friends, avoid parlays as best as possible, and also understand what these companies want from you. They aren't giving you free money. This is a business. I believe sports gambling has to be an open discussion, and the reason why I look at both sides is because that's what encourages an open discussion. That's what brings everybody together. If I sit here and only talk about the negatives of sports gambling, the people that actually do it and see the fun with it wouldn't understand where I'm coming from. So that's why I brought it here to you guys, so we can actually talk about this issue and see a positive down the line. Because as a sports fan, we all want to enjoy these games. As a sports fan, we all want to enjoy every part of sports, and a huge part of sports is accepting the random and trying to predict the random. That's where sports companies and sports books comes in to prey on that, but also make that more worthwhile. And they're doing their whole part in this whole thing. But at the end of the day, we have to look at how we could restrict the way sports gambling is nowadays in order to guarantee a future where gambling isn't the sole purpose of watching sports.
Sports gamblers have no allegiance to any team. My boyfriend will hate one team one week and then bet on them the next. They only have allegiance to money. Also, I've come to the conclusion that no one is good at sports gambling. That might hurt your feelings, but I used to think like, oh, you can be somewhat good at sports gambling, like it's not roulette, you know, you do have some control of your choice. So no. It is roulette.
And guys, I also want to add some of these anecdotes that I've seen online just researching this topic. People have won over $200,000 in their sports betting process and still have some of their money being drawn back from them because companies are saying they put out wrong odds. And we also have issues with people losing their mortgages, people literally going homeless because of sports gambling. We have actual addicts out here that can't get any help because of sports gambling. There are apps out there right now that somehow get kids who are underage to partake in sports gambling. It's just insane how rampant the whole sports gambling shit is going, man. So I just hope this video at least help you guys understand a little about the topic and start something about sports gambling on YouTube.
Betting is one of those things that you're never going to be satisfied with, no matter how much money you make in one day.